Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, 杨哥聊币. Starting today, we will explore a series of topics titled Bitcoin Will Make You a Millionaire. Today's discussion marks the first in this series. When will Bitcoin's market cap surpass that of gold? If this is your first time visiting my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the exciting contents ahead. Alright, let's get started. Gold has long been seen as the ultimate safe haven for investors, a cornerstone asset that diversifies portfolios and protects wealth. Its performance depends a lot on the time frame and economic context. Let's take a closer look. Since 1971, when the US dollar was decoupled from gold, its average annualized return has been about 7 to 9%, with the 1970s being an especially golden era thanks to high inflation. But to zoom out over the past century, you will see a different story. Gold's returns have averaged just 1 to 2% annually, reflecting its role as a hedge against inflation, not a growth engine. In more recent times, from 2010 to 2020, gold has been a steady performer, delivering around 5% annual returns. It found its footing after the 2008 financial crisis, reinforcing its position as a store of value. Fast forward to today, the gold's market capitalization stands at an incredible 18 trillion. That's calculated by multiplying its current, which is around 2,800 per ounce, by the total above-ground reserves worldwide. Now, let's make a bold assumption. What if gold continues to deliver a steady 5% annual return in the future? That's a nice setup for the big question we are tackling today. When will Bitcoin's market cap surpass that of gold? And what would that mean for you, the investor? Now, let's turn our attention to Bitcoin and its potential future returns. To understand where it might be headed, we first need to reflect on its extraordinary past. Over the last decade, Bitcoin has delivered astonishing returns. Its average annualized growth ranged from 60 to 70%, with some truly remarkable highlights. Just in the past year, Bitcoin posted a staggering 164% return. Over the last 5 years, its annualized growth averaged nearly 68%. And if you look back 10 years, its returns were absolutely phenomenal at 77% annually, translating to a total return of over 30,000%. But as Bitcoin matures and adoption broadens, it's natural to expect these astronomical growth rates to level out. So, what does the future hold? There are some fascinating theories and projections out there. For instance, Metcalfe's law suggests that Bitcoin's value grows proportionally to the square of its user base. It implies that if adoption continues to accelerate, Bitcoin still has significant upside potential. A survey conducted by Michael Saylor showed that nearly 40% of participants believe Bitcoin could achieve an annual return of 38% over the next 20 years. While this is more a reflection of community optimism than concrete analysis, it underscores the excitement surrounding Bitcoin's future. On the more analytical side, Morgan Stanley has outlined scenarios where Bitcoin's annualized returns range from a cautious 1% to a more optimistic 10% over the next decade. Meanwhile, the Motley Fool suggests that for Bitcoin to achieve a 23,000% increase in value over 20 years, it would need to grow at an annual rate of 30%. Ambitious, right? Absolutely, but worth considering. So let's visualize this through 3 possible scenarios based on annualized returns of 30%, 18.53%, which is similar to the Nasdaq 100 over the last decade, and 13.1%, which is the same as SPY 500. In the optimistic case with 30% annual return, Bitcoin's market cap could surpass gold by 2035, reaching 32 trillion, with its price soaring to around 1.5 million per Bitcoin. In the moderate growth scenario, that is 18.53% as Nasdaq 100 did, Bitcoin might overtake gold by 2043, with a market cap of 45.5 trillion and a price near 2.2 million per Bitcoin. In the conservative case with 13.1% as SPY 500 did, it could take until 2054 when Bitcoin's market cap climbs to 82 trillion, with each Bitcoin worth about 3.9 million. These scenarios paint an exciting picture of Bitcoin's transformative potential. Whether it takes a decade or several to surpass gold, the journey promises to be extraordinary. The above speculation about Bitcoin's price and when its market capitalization might surpass gold are purely hypothetical and speculative. For example, we assume that gold will grow at an annual return rate of 5% in the future, but in reality, gold may not achieve such an annual growth rate. Similarly, our most optimistic annual growth rate estimate for Bitcoin is 30%. But as Bitcoin's market capitalization grows and stabilizes, its annual growth rate may not remain this high. However, it's another story if more countries in the future adopt Bitcoin and include it in their national reserves, similar to gold, or if all assets are tokenized on the blockchain. Bitcoin's annual growth rate could far exceed our optimistic estimate of 30%, leaving you astounded. Therefore, today's speculations are just for fun and not a basis for your investment decisions.